Oh, we on. I'm about to cuss this man out. Down at In Sports Talk, we in the building, man. It's Tuesday night. You know the vibes. Left-handed right here at RM Des on Twitter. Get at me. I got my Code D in the building. The ubiquitous Yada Bear is in the house. And once again, it's on. Tonight we got a nice show tonight, man. We're gonna, keep it lovely like we do. And we're gonna speak to stuff like we do. We're gonna give a eulogy. Yada Bear says she didn't want no parts of it. But I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a eulogy tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers and how they, and their season and stuff like that. We're gonna talk some WNBA, get that in the first week of the WNBA season. And we have some breaking news. Yada Bear, you wanna bring the breaking news to the forefront?
Yeah, apparently we will be getting a fight at the end of July. Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence has finally agreed to fight in Vegas. July 29th, T-Mobile Arena. We will be getting Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence finally. Maybe.
Possibly. Probably.
Even though they set a date and have a venue, we never know what will happen in these two guys' camps. Can Earl Spence, stay off the sauce, get ready? Can Terrence Crawford, not do nothing stupid? Nobody breaks their hand or get any type of unnecessary issues outside the ring. Hopefully, they can stay focused, get in their camps, and get ready for this fight. This is a fight that we all been calling for years. We've been calling for these two to fight for years. It almost turned into a Mayweather Pacquiao situation where they wait too long to face each other, and by the time that happened, we just wouldn't care anymore.
Not interested in it no more.
Yeah,
right.
And they want to overcharge for an
absolutely
with two guys who passed their prime. So I'm glad that it did not get to that point. Am I excited? Yes, I'm always excited to see two of the best fight each other during their prime. We want to see more of that. That's been the trend going on now. Starting with Tank and Ryan Garcia. We just had Devin Haney beat Lomachenko in what a lot of people is calling a controversial fight. A lot of people don't agree with the decision of the fight. If you want to speak on that before I get
absolutely. When you talk about a fight like, Lomachenko and Devin Haney, Devin Haney is one of the, the up and comers, and Lomachenko, he's basically kind of an up and comer too. But his situation was based on the fact that he had, over 200, 300 amateur fights. So it wasn't really, a stretch to say that he was, been in some wars and was ready. For me, I just thought that fight was really, really good. I think that, Lomachenko, did he get robbed? No. Should he have won? In my opinion, yes. But I think that when you look at the fight and what Lomachenko did and what Devin Haney did, it was a very, very difficult fight to score. But in no way, that was that fight 116, 112. No way. So, and then when, you talk about, the champ has to go out on the sword. He has to get knocked down or knocked out. I agree with that. But there's been plenty of situations when, the champion, lost his belt and was in a war. And nobody got knocked down. It was just a war, and it was just depending on what you look at. And I give you a perfect example. And I've been waiting like about 4 days to bring this up. The first Sugar Ray Leonard Roberto Duran fight. Montreal, 1980, right? Sugar Ray Leonard was the champion. All right. Roberto Duran was the former champion. All right. Don't want to go into the details of it. Everybody, if you're a sports head, a boxing head like ourselves, you know what happened. Very, very good fight. Roberto Duran bullied Sugar Ray Leonard. Because I remember telling my cousin, we were all excited because we knew Sugar Ray Leonard was going to put the beats on Duran. But when Duran started talking stuff about Sugar Ray Leonard's wife, that's when the whole scenario changed. Sugar Ray Leonard, now he's going in there talking about he's going to knock Roberto Duran out. So we was like, no, like literally, I remember this. We was like, no, that's not how you're gonna win this fight. It was a brawl. Roberto Duran was brawling with Sugar Ray. Sugar Ray did his thing. Nobody got knocked down. Nobody got really, really, really hurt. But Roberto Duran won the fight. So again, to me, it just if you outclass the champion, no matter what happens, you deserve to win. Now, did Lomachenko outclass Devin Haney? No, no. But again, I'm looking at the fight. You're looking at the fight, Yada. And again, it's not like a unanimous thing. Like, okay, Devin Haney won. What are you talking about? You're bugging. People talk about Lomachenko won the fight. Like, again, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, when you talk about a fight that we got upcoming on July 29th, possibly, probably, with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, they've been circling each other. They've been talking, mad-ish to each other about what they're going to do to each other. And now we're finally going to get it. I think when you get to this fight right here, Terrence Crawford, he's been, kind of like criticized for his resume. Errol Spence, he's been in there was a couple of fighters that, Sean Porter, it sticks out. You know what I mean? That Sean Porter fight was good. And Sean Porter really, to me, exposed Errol Spence. And I think when you have a guy like Terrence Crawford who knows what he's doing and can really, really get Errol Spence where he wants him to be at, to me, that's where you tip the scale really towards, Terrence Crawford. And I'm still going to stay on that thing about if Errol Spence didn't get into that car accident, a few years ago, this would be this fight would be way bigger. It's going to be a big fight. But I think that, when you got these guys, both of them are undefeated, I believe. And this is one that the people have been waiting for, the people want. So we're going to see what happens. July 29th, that's my sister's birthday. It's going down. What's your thoughts in regards to this upcoming fight with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence?
Like I said, this is a fight that we all been waiting for. We all been calling for. We've been calling for this fight for years. I mean, what?
Literally, right?
I want to say almost 5 years, maybe 4 to 5 years that we've been calling for this fight, and we've been watching them fight other people or not fight at all. Spence had that accident. He was out for a while. We was waiting for him, to come back, and he was able to finally come back. And, we seen him fight Sean Porter. We seen Crawford fight no-name guys.
Sean Porter.
Everybody fought Sean Porter. I feel like they both fought Sean Porter to avoid fighting each other. It's like, well, who's gonna fight next? Well, all right, we can fight Sean, but like, well, he just fought Earl. All right, well, I mean, we can fight him too,
Right.
And now it's like, 5 years later, it's finally happening. The deal is done. I'm just waiting for the camps to start. I can't wait to see the promotion, and I can't wait for them to continue to talk greasy to one another online, and hopefully hype up the fight a little bit more and get people excited. But the fight Saturday, that the Haney Lomachenko fight, see, with me, I saw it pretty completely different. Like in the beginning rounds, I gave it to Haney all day. He was killing Lomachenko with the body shots. In the mid rounds, you can split them. They was going back and forth. Lomachenko was throwing a bunch of combinations, but you're throwing combinations that's landing, that's not hurting them. You're flashy, you're fast with the hands. There's no power behind those punches. And then when we get into round like 9 and 10, Lomachenko was putting together again more combination. But every time he put a combination together, Haney was able to counter it with a body shot. That's why when you look at the cards, there was no 10-8 round at all. It was always 10-9, 10-9. Even when Lomachenko was winning the round, it was always 10-9 because he couldn't get into a real flow of the fight because every time he put a combination together, Haney would be able to get out of it and counter it with another body shot. So, to me, to win, for him to win that fight, he would have to knock Haney out. You can't leave the fight in the hands of the cards because the cards is always going to be advantage the champ. He had to be what would I say online? He had to like really dominate the fight, and he didn't dominate the fight at all. Now, also when I look at Haney, it shows me that Haney is not ready for a Tank Davis or even a Shakur Stevenson because all those body shots that he was landing on Lomachenko, not one drop Lomachenko. Now, if we would insert Tank Davis in this fight and he's hitting all those body shots on Lomachenko, we see what Tank can do with a body shot. We see him in plenty of fights. Most recently, Ryan Garcia, he ended it with a body shot. So that also shows me that Haney, again, you got the speed, you got the flash, but you don't have no power behind those punches. So I am very interested in seeing what his next step will be. And I'm hoping it's a step towards Shakur Stevenson for the fight fan in me. But in Haney court, I hope his dad is telling him, you don't want to fight this guy now.
Did you see Shakur Stevenson when he got in the
when
ring?
Haney told him, Haney said, "Oh, I'm number one." He said, "For now."
Yeah, right.
For now, because when you not get in this ring with you, it's going to be a different story.
Absolutely,
and it will.
Absolutely. And they beat feet too. They got up out of there too.
And one thing also, I think Lomachenko going to war kind of put a toll on his body. You know, he's like 35. He went to war in Ukraine. You know, he was out there fighting,
which is very, very commendable. I mean,
very commendable. You know, and I didn't know that. I didn't think that he would be able to come back. You know, after being at war, who knows the stress that was put on his body for being at war. So for him to come out and give us a showing like this, I tip my hat to him because it was a hell of a fight. It wasn't, Haney walked all over him. Now Lomachenko came to play. He put on a nice show. I do think the one judge who scored it 116 with 112.
Dave Moretti.
Yeah, that was a little bugged out. I thought Mac's scorecard too was a little bugged out too because I'm like Lomachenko didn't win all those rounds. It could have been a draw to me, and I would have been fine for 2.
Right. Okay. That would have been that to me. That would have been more palatable.
It could have been fine, but again,
go another fight. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but again, you got to knock him out, or at least get a knockdown.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Or it has to be convincing.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Convincing this is like I said, it had to be a couple 10-8 rounds, a couple 10-7 rounds.
Or you could find a point in the fight where you say, well, Lomachenko had him out on his feet, or he really, really dominated. But we really didn't get that. It was a back and forth fight. And again, I still think, if you ask me, I still think Lomachenko got it, but it is what it is. Now we're gonna get into the part of the show right here that we was talking about when we was in the green room backstage. The NBA conference finals. One of them is done.
Yeah.
One of them we're waiting on. Is still in the oven, is baking. Where you want to go first?
Well, I mean, we can go with the ones that don't matter anymore. That's in the books. It's in the history books now.
Okay.
And that's the Lakers and the Nuggets. I did not expect this series to go this way. I thought that
Nutcracker in the building.
I thought that if that the Lakers could at least get 2. At least 2. I thought AD and LeBron could at least give me 2 games. They go out in 6. That's fine. But I'm not going to focus too much on the Lakers. I'm going to shift my focus to the Nuggets because, we can sit here and talk for hours about what the Lakers could have did or LeBron, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to show some love to the Nuggets. And I'm going to show some love to Jamal Murray, who had been
Shout out Kevin Anderson. I see you.
he been out of the league for almost 2 years. He tore up his knee after the bubble, and a lot of people forgot how good Jamal Murray is. People fail to realize, like I told you in the green room, that in 2020, the Nuggets was Jamal Murray team. Nobody
Mm-hmm.
was talking about Joker. Nobody, because Joker came in the league out of shape, fat. He was still skilled, but he
Right.
wasn't as skilled as he is
He was
now.
playing the position. He was playing the position they eliminated.
Yeah, exactly. So this was all. This was Jamal Murray team. They had the Michael Porter Jr. there. But it was Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray was out there balling like crazy, and AD hit that clutch shot at the buzzer to put him away. Like they was this close to going to the finals in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to this year. Jamal Murray's healthy, and he came out and he showed them that, hey, I'm back. I'm still the man. I'm healthy. Y'all forgot about me, and he destroyed them. Like LeBron was every bit 38 years old in Denver. Like you, especially in Game 2, it was crazy. And in the beginning of the series, I said this team was going as far as AD take them. This is not
Yeah,
LeBron.
when he was having those 30-20 games, it was like, oh, the Lakers are gonna do this, the Lakers are gonna
Yeah,
kill, and the Lakers are this.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then he disappeared
Mm-hmm.
once again. He's supposed to be the leader of this team. It's not supposed to be LeBron. LeBron's 38 years old. You know, um, LeBron is definitely not a closer. I agree. AD is supposed to be the closer. AD is supposed to be the captain of this ship, and AD was nowhere to be found. I knew that game was over when LeBron scored 31 points in the first half. Because for all my number junkies out there, we all know that when LeBron scores, most of the time when he scores over 35 points in a Lakers game, they lose, because that means AD is somewhere between 18 and 24 points.
We got the chat room popping. My man Know the Led says LeBron gets all the credit, but never the blame. When you say that AD was supposed to be, this is his team, I feel like he had every opportunity for him to be that Robin to LeBron's Batman, because LeBron is always going to be Batman regardless. You know what I mean? But he was very, very inconsistent when he was doing his thing. And the Lakers, people were talking about the Lakers, rolling through the West or being one of those top teams in the West. It was when AD was putting his numbers up. So when AD got quiet, the Lakers got quiet. We got the eulogy coming up, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm going to eulogize the Los Angeles Lakers in a few minutes.
Now, hold on, because I
Uh-huh.
see, like, David has said that Jordan at 38 was a bust in the Wizards. LeBron had 49, 10, and 9 in the semifinals. Then
Right.
Jordan made the playoffs in 03 with the Wizards at 38. No, and I agree with that. But the reason why I'm bringing up LeBron's age at 38 is because he has more miles on him than Jordan did. LeBron played 20 years
Straight.
20 years. Jordan took a break
Olympics,
to play
other
baseball.
stuff.
Yes, you think
Yeah.
of the Olympics. He was on 2 Olympic teams. How many times he went to the finals? 10 times. All that playoff basketball for 20 years. That's a lot of mileage on that body. So when you look at 38 Jordan versus a 38 LeBron, it's a little bit of a difference there. It's a little bit of a difference. So that's why I'm saying that this should definitely been AD as Batman, LeBron as Robin, but unfortunately those roles was never
Established. Absolutely.
established, because AD inconsistency was ridiculous in this series. And I gotta give Darvin Ham some
Right.
smoke.
I know. I was waiting for you to. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because
A lot
again,
of Bears in the building,
we
y'all.
because we point the fingers at LeBron, we point the fingers at AD, but let's point the fingers at Darvin Ham, because you've seen in game 1 and game 2, D'Angelo Russell was trash. He was trash out there. He was barbecue chicken, like how Charles and Shaq like to say. He was out there barbecue chicken, and Darvin Ham did not make not one adjustment in either one of those games. So you figure, all right, we're going back home, game 3. Let's see an adjustment. Again, he made no adjustment in game 3. Hachimura was having a decent series. Why not make the adjustment that you made in game 4 in game 3 to at least give your team a chance? So right there, I gotta look at Darvin Ham like, what was you guys out there doing? Like, what was you seeing out there? Okay, like you like he, it was just crazy of when a coach just sit there and watch your team get trashed and not make any type of adjustment. No adjustment at halftime, no adjustment on in game 3, and then you make an adjustment in game 4 where now everybody else is making vacation trips already in their head because they see we're down 3-0.
And like you got shout out to Know the Ledge. I see you. He says you can't hate on D'Lo, Vanderbilt, and Beasley. They got them to the playoffs. And then what?
I listen.
You know what I'm saying? And then what happened?
They got them to the play. So that was the goal, was to get to the playoffs. The goal, you gotta bring what you brought in those last 2 months.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get them to the playoffs, and then when the playoffs come, that's when you're really supposed to get your shine on.
But my thing is with
and they didn't show up.
Yeah, but my thing with Darvin Ham, you see that D'Lo's out there getting smoked. Mm-hmm. So how about you bring D'Lo off the bench and put in Dennis and see maybe Dennis' defense could slow down Jamal. Just slow him down some so that our guys can catch up. So that Austin Reeves can maybe get open and he don't got to worry about trying to guard Jamal Murray. Or maybe D'Lo, can come in as a change of pace guy from off the bench. But again, we seen what happened. Is it the end of era? Who knows? The way that LeBron was talking in the press conference, we know he's extremely emotional. He's talking about, him not playing with his son anymore is not the most important thing. And is it possible that he retires in the offseason? Yeah, it's possible. Would I be surprised? No, because he's been in the league for 20 seasons, and he see that with this Lakers team that they have is not, he can't win championships with. He's at the point of his life now where he only looking to be on a team that he can win championships with. He already broke the record. He already accomplished numerous things. What else is there for him to do? He got 4 rings. He got multiple finals, MVPs, stuff like that. But I think, to me personally, I think he probably come back next season. Might be his farewell tour.
Right.
And he deserves it,
And we always talk behind the scenes. This is Down in Sports Talk, y'all. Tuesday night, man. We in the building. If you like what we're talking about right now, support offering for Down in Sports Talk. $ left-handed. We appreciate y'all. Listen, man. All the talk about LeBron and Jordan and whoever else. I mean, you got to respect LeBron's career and what he's done. But for me, when you talk about is who's better, this and that, and the third. LeBron for all his accolades and Jordan for all his accolades. LeBron never, won, 3 and then, left for 2 years and came back and won 3 more. LeBron never won a Defensive Player of the Year award. You know what I mean? LeBron never scored 3,000 points in a season. So it's easy if you want to get into that. But to me, it's more about what LeBron has done as far as changing, a team's culture. Like the Lakers, when they began their season, nobody expected them to be here. And we're going to get into that when I drop this eulogy for them.
Yeah, but, 2-10.
Yeah. 2-10.
2-10 team. going to the Western Conference
let's
Finals.
let's go into the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. That should be a short conversation, and then I'm going to get into this eulogy of the Los Angeles Lakers season.
Well,
What do you want? You know, it could be over tonight.
I mean, it should be over tonight. I'm thinking that it may be over tonight, and I think this will be the first time in NBA history where we have both conference finals in the sweeps.
Mm.
You know, Boston Celtics. This has been the team that we have seen all year. Extremely inconsistent team, led by a very inexperienced coach.
Who got the job? Who got the job by accident?
He got the job because of an HR issue. Let's
right. Let's say that it's an HR issue.
Joe Mazzulla got the job because of an HR issue.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And that should be a lesson to all you cats out there.
Yeah. This like this team is focused on scoring. They don't not really focus on defense, even though you got two guys in Tatum and Brown who actually play decent defense, along with Marcus Smart, who was the reigning defensive player of the year. You know, he won that last year. No guard won that since Gary Payton. Okay, so you would figure, you know, defensively they should be able to, you know, lock these guys down. But what's happening is I see a lack of focus. They got a coach who is getting out coached. And this
basically
right here definitely shows you what an experienced coach can do. And when we talk about the Miami Heat, we have to talk about, you know, exposure first. You know, you gotta talk. It starts with him. The culture that they have in Heat in Miami is ridiculous. That you can take a bunch of guys who wouldn't be on anybody else's team except for Jimmy Butler and probably Bam, that's starting and contribute during this whole playoff run. You know, they lost the first play-in game, had to play in the second one, got the 8th seed, took down the number 1 seed, took down the Knicks, and now on the verge of taking down what's quote unquote supposed to be the best team in the East in the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics look it's like day and night versus when they played the Sixers. And it's because the Sixers couldn't hit open shots. The Miami Heat role players are hitting every open shot that is out there. Yep. And that's the difference. And they in Miami Heat are not letting up their foot on the gas. And you got a guy in Jimmy Butler who is willing his team to victory. And
they got a guy on the bench who missed the entire playoffs because he broke his hand, Tyler Herro.
Who's your second best player on the team?
Right.
And then you got a guy in Kyle Lowry who's old, coming off the bench and contributing.
Providing veteran moments. Absolutely. Yes. He's a champion. Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
It's so crazy to see Boston in this situation. For the Celtics fans out there, you guys should be embarrassed. It's embarrassing, just like it should be embarrassed for these Lakers fans who got swept.
Speaking of Laker fans, it's somebody who's conspicuous by his absence tonight, Mr. Windwalker. Right? He said he had a graduation to go to, allegedly, possibly, probably, and he couldn't show up tonight. So he was like, well, you know, I know you're going to bash me and my team. Now, we're not going to bash you and your team. We're going to bash your team.
Yeah.
So, again, at the end of the day, salute to you, Win. You know what I mean? And it'll happen. But, yeah, like you said, the Boston Celtics, like you said, they should be embarrassed. You know, that's me. For all the talk that, you know, everybody says about how Jason Tatum is this next superstar and, you know, right, the way he's playing right now, he deserves to be in some vending machine. You know what I mean? Begging for somebody to, to press his number so they can, get some chips. But for me, I just think that the Miami Heat are ready. Spoelstra doesn't get the credit that he deserves for just being that guy, that quiet guy. He's not really flashy. He's come up through the organization, through the through the mud.
Won coach of the year. He's never been considered
never won a coach of the year. But
he's
definitely been that guy that could take this team and get chips with them and again stand on what he's stood on and have his team right where they belong again on the precipice of another NBA Finals. So you got to give him credit. You got to give that team credit. And we're looking forward to probably a Denver Nuggets and Miami Heat's final. Right now, what we're going to get into, we all should, bow our heads. We're going to give our eulogy for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Somebody said Knicks fans shouldn't be talking about that.
Listen. That's all right. I'm a Knicks fan, but at the end of the day, my team went as far as we can go. We took the Miami Heat to 6 games, right? And we were supposed to get swept. So don't get me started on that. Again, Bob City, I see you. Salute. I see you. I see you, Bob City. I see you. You know what I mean? But leave that alone, because we got all types of cleaning products for the Lakers. We got handy wipes. We got Clorox wipes. We got extendo brooms. We got all of that. But let me get into this eulogy for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, boy.
My church choir couldn't show up tonight. They had a prior engagement. But listen, this is what we're going to do. This season started out for the Los Angeles Lakers as basically another ho-hum go-round, right? You got your Anthony Davis. You got your LeBron James. You had a cast of characters is what they had at the beginning of the season. They started out with a very, very bad record. What was it, 2-10? I was laughing at them like this team is garbage. This team stinks. You know what I mean? But I think that, the guys who run the ship there, right, they decided that they were going to try to make a run for it, right? And again, when you talk about that and how they put this team together, they went out there and had to deal with Russell Westbrook in that situation, Patrick Beverley in that situation, and the front office and the powers that be for the Lakers said they can't get it done with this because they're becoming the laughing stock of the league right now. On the real, the Lakers are becoming the laughing stock of the league. And I know LeBron didn't like that too much. The front office didn't like that too much. You know what I mean? Darvin Ham, a lot of pressure was going to be on him. You know what I mean? So again, they had to do some things, and that's what they did. At the trading deadline, they went and got some pieces. They went and got Rui Hachimura from Washington, right? And again, he turned out to be a guy that could help them out. They got the kid Beasley. D'Angelo Russell came back from injury. So all of a sudden, that 10th spot or that 13th spot where the Lakers are at, it turned into 10. Then it was 8. Then it's like, Windwalker, and everybody was talking about, okay, the Lakers now, all we need to do is we're going to get into the play-in and we'll show and prove what we got. So again, I feel like the Lakers did everything that they needed to do. They got as far as they could go. They got into the playoffs. They won a series. They won 2 series. Now everybody's now pounding their chest and they're saying what the Lakers can do and the Lakers can win a chip. It was all LeBron inspired, and I'm not mad at that. But at the end of the day, what we talked about earlier in the show, where LeBron put a lot of miles on them tires, he wasn't getting really the help from Anthony Davis. He would get maybe twice a week. Anthony Davis would come up with a 30-point, 20-rebound performance, and now the Lakers are back. All right? They get into the Western Conference Finals against a Denver Nuggets team that's ready. And Jamal Murray was the difference. All right? Nikola Jokic was the guy that did his thing, but then you had Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who used to play in the gold and yellow, and said, now I'm with the Denver Nuggets. I'm gonna show you what y'all missed. And again, at the end of the day, I think the age and everything kind of caught up with them. But I think that the Lakers went as far as they can go and leave my Knicks alone. Right? Leave my Knicks alone. But the Los Angeles Lakers, they had a decent season. I'm not gonna say they had a great season. And all you Lakers fans can come up with all the excuses in the world. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but still the fact remains that LeBron James shot and played them out of each game of that series. And for LeBron James to do that, it's kind of showed us where he was at, and it showed the Lakers where they were at, and they needed more than LeBron. They didn't need AD to come and show us sporadically. Austin Reeves, to me, was one of the most consistent players that they had. He was hitting all the shots that needed to be hit, but he wasn't getting no help. And last night's game was a clear indication of where the Lakers were lacking at. They couldn't make a layup in crunch time to save their life.
Yeah, now, they couldn't make a leg.
I'm in the middle of my eulogy.
Couldn't make a layup.
I just feel like they couldn't hit a shot to save their life, and I think that was more of a hindrance, and it helped the Denver Nuggets because the Denver Nuggets wasn't really blowing the Lakers out. The Lakers were in each game of that finals. They were in each game of that Western Conference Finals until they got down to the end. And for me, I just feel like the Los Angeles Lakers, they did what they did what they could do. They didn't get contributions from everybody who was contributing during the season. The D'Angelo Russells, right? The Vanderbilts, the Ruiz, the Austin Reeves. Now they got some things that they need to do for the future. Is LeBron coming back? Right?
Are they going to keep AD?
Are they going to keep AD? Is Austin Reeves going to leave?
Or they going to resign him?
That is going to be a very, very definitive situation in regards to what the Lakers are going to do. Now, LeBron, when they lost to Dallas in that finals back in 2011, he made some statements in regards that, well, I'm going to wake up the next morning, I'm still going to be me, and people going to go back to their regular job. To me, that was some emotion talking. Last night when LeBron was like, well, he got some things to figure out, it was half the truth and about 45% emotion, right? Because we know LeBron is a drama queen. We know that. LeBron is a diva. And I think that's one of the things that kind of turn people off from LeBron, right? So when you got a guy like Darvin Ham that's in a situation that, he's been in those situations as a player, but as a coach, it's different. And when you have players that don't come through when they're supposed to, or when you rely on them and depend on them to come through, this is what you get. And to me, the last play of the game was indicative of how the Lakers put everything on LeBron. LeBron is the hero. LeBron is the guy. Why couldn't LeBron be a decoy in that situation?
Yeah, I mean, that's lack of coaching. I mean,
again,
we got to put some. Right? Yeah, we got to go back to Darvin Ham because the type of game that LeBron was having yesterday, that the defense was going to collapse on him. So why, like you said, why give him the ball? Again, right. LeBron is not supposed to be the closer. The closer is supposed to be AD. But again, things change when he doesn't know that he's supposed to be the closer. When he's coming in inconsistent, it's a lot the Lakers going to look, to me, totally different next season. AD may or may not be there. Shoot, LeBron may or may not
be there. That's right.
So when I look at the Lakers this season, they had two different teams. Like I never seen a team have a different team.
Absolutely, that's right.
Of the season. So, for that team to overcome everything that was happening in the beginning of the season to be able to make it this far in the playoff, my cup goes to them. They had a season that nobody thought was possible. Again, you start out 2-10. 2-10. Russell was garbage. Pat Beverly was garbage. The fact that these two guys would have still been able to get a ring if the Lakers would have won the championship is mind blowing to me. And how corny for them to even accept that. Like that
How
shows
corny?
me
How corny?
what
How
type of
corny if they
players
even bring it
you
up?
are.
They brought it up like, yo,
Yeah.
well,
They said,
we
I
played for
want
them for
my
about 3
ring.
weeks. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
want
For
my
about
ring if
three
the Lakers
months.
win.
Can we get a ring? Like,
So
nah, son.
so
You know
that
what I
to
mean?
me showed me what type of player Westbrook and Pat Beverly are. Like you didn't earn that ring. You wasn't in the playoffs. You didn't play in those playoff games. If they would have beat the Nuggets and go to the championship, how dare they expect
They
a
probably would have filed.
ring?
They probably would have filed a grievance with Adam Silver.
No, they probably would, and that just shows me like I would never want these guys on my team.
Right.
Like that to me was crazy. But I mean, hey, this year could be an end of an era for many teams.
Right.
It could be the end of the Golden State Warrior era. You know, it could be the end of the Chris Paul era. Who knows? You
And
know,
it was
who knows?
definitely the end of an era. When you talk
There you
about,
go.
these guys, Carmelo Anthony, salute. That's, I wanted to definitely put some respect on Carmelo Anthony's name. Um, I made a little comment last night on my Twitter. I said, it was crazy that Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James would retire on the same day. They came into the league and on the same day, and they would retire on the same day. That's ironic. But Carmelo Anthony was my guy from the beginning, because he got a chip for my Syracuse Orangemen. I'm a Syracuse dude all day. We came and then did his thing with the Denver Nuggets. He kept them in the playoffs. He kept the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, right? And then worked his way to 34th and 7th. Knicks tape all day. Everybody was going crazy. Melo was coming home. He did his thing. He holds the all-time record for the most points in the game at the Garden. I think 62 points. I mean, so he definitely represented the blue and orange to the fullest, to the fullest capability. I just wanted to get your thoughts on Carmelo and his career, and what kind of legacy he leaves as far as the NBA is concerned.
Oh, Carmelo leaves his a
Mad
great
comments
scorer.
in the chat room. Salute.
A great scorer. He can score from anywhere. Mid-range king. A lot of people like to look at DeMar DeRozan and Kawhi Leonard as like the mid-range king. Now, Carmelo Anthony was the king of the mid-range. When everybody was all flashy and jiggy on the court, he kept it simple. He still played an old man, old school.
Hey,
type
watch your
of
mouth.
play.
Watch your mouth.
It is what it is. That's how he played out there.
The other
Carmelo
fundamental. Shout out to Tim Duncan, right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Carmelo Anthony definitely a Hall of Famer. He's already top 75, but again, he's going to be on the list of players who were great who didn't win a ring. I think Carmelo Anthony retired 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years too late, 2 to 3 years maybe. I think he retired because the league retired him. The
Right.
league retired Carmelo Anthony, and he finally was like, "Yeah, I'm done." He's. I still remember when he was with Portland, and he was like, "They want me to come off the bench." Like he got offended
Right.
when they said, "Hey, Carmelo, we want you to
Absolutely.
come off the bench."
Right.
And it's like, Carmelo, you're not the guy anymore.
Right.
You're not that guy. So he definitely will go in the Hall of Fame. He, Syracuse years, won that championship. It was great. He came in a great draft class. I think when he went to the Knicks, that whole Len Sandy stuff got in his head. He became super emotional. I don't think the Knicks really put a team around him because they brought in Amari Stoudemire, who was on the last leg.
And oh my God, yeah, man.
Because the one comment I will never forget that Amari Stoudemire said when the Knicks was in the playoffs, is I never played with back spasms. I said, okay. I said, my dude, you guys are in the playoffs. I said,
well, he saw his way out of that when he beat up the fire extinguisher.
Yeah. And I was like, it was weird, but Carmelo, salute, hats off, great career.
Absolutely.
Um, he kept the Nuggets, very
Absolutely.
very
Absolutely.
alive
Yes.
throughout those
Yep.
years. It's a shame that they couldn't accomplish more, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you was in the West. The
Mm.
West was a monster back
Right.
then.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
could could he could have extended his career a little bit more if he played some defense and maybe start taking three
If
pointers?
he didn't let his ego get in the way,
Yeah,
absolutely.
if you start, we all know Carmelo don't play defense, and we all know that maybe he should have started taking a step back and start shooting threes a little bit earlier in his career, and maybe things would change. But but
I
that's the
mean,
past. Hats off.
Carmelo, and I would get on Carmelo. I would say like, yo, check this out. Your best years was those Olympic years. You was like the Michael Jordan of the Olympics. Like nobody could tell when Olympic time came. That was
Hmm.
Carmelo Anthony's time.
Oh,
You
he
know, he
definitely
got
put on the
busy,
show.
busy during the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it didn't really. I mean, it translated, but it didn't translate to a championship, career or championship situation. But again, at the end of the day, Carmelo still gets the definitely ultimate respect from this corner down at In Sports Talk. We tip our hat and salute to Carmelo Anthony, man. You know what I mean? And absolutely salute and tip our hat to LeBron James. But the guy who gets the most, who doesn't get any credit, and they talked about him at the beginning, that 2003 draft, Darko. Remember? The,
Yeah.
the Detroit Pistons drafted Darko.
Yep. Darko Meritage.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
drafted. Like they just knew. They just knew that they had the man. They didn't say, "Yo, we ain't worried about Carmelo Anthony. We gonna take
They were
Darko."
about Carmelo. They were about
Yeah,
D
man.
Wade. They didn't care
You
about
know,
LeBron. They didn't care about Chris Bosh. They didn't care about nobody.
they had their eyes and their heart set on Darko, and that's just what it was. So salute to Carmelo Anthony, man.
Yeah.
Down in Sports Talk, man. Every Tuesday night, man. We appreciate everybody that's rocking out with us in the chat room. We see us heavy. They going at you, David. David, what's going on with you, my guy?
Yeah,
They going
David
at
is
you in the
going
chat room,
in
my dude. You
heavy
know what I
on
mean?
Jordan.
Yeah, they on your neck, my guy. But yeah, so everything is everything. We rocking out here. This is what we do every Tuesday night. We appreciate everybody that rocks out. Now we're gonna get into the situation of we're gonna talk about some WNBA stuff. The WNBA, the season started
Friday.
May the 19th, last Friday,
Hmm.
and we saw some things. What was your first thoughts coming away from the first week of the WNBA season?
I was really focused on the rookies. Aaliyah Boston had a great show in her first game. She had about like 15 points, 9 rebounds. Um, Zaya, she had a decent first game also. Um, that Mystics and Liberty game
Yeah, I was going to get into that, but go ahead.
was
Go ahead. Go ahead.
was
Man, listen.
must see TV. Um, the return
I
of
thought you said
Elena,
musty TV.
the return of Elena Deladon.
Lena Deladon. Yeah,
She,
man.
she's back. She's healthy, and the Mystic team look very good. It's going to take a minute, a couple games for the Liberty to come together. You saw in the second game,
Yes,
Brianna
sir.
Stewart
Yep.
put up 45.
Yep. We had to have
The whole
45.
opener she put
Absolutely.
45 up against the Fever. So she even said it in the comments. She said, "I think my choice. I think I made the correct choice." And I said, "Oh, I said Brianna throwing shots at the Storm.
Well,
You
you
know,
could do that. She got
I
she
was like,
got wild
wow."
backup. She got wild backup.
Yeah,
Again,
it was crazy, but
mhm.
it was a good opening weekend. It was good to see Brittany Griner out there. First game, she dropped 10 points. Second game, she came back in form. Had about like 24 points. I think she had like 11 to 12 rebounds. She had like a double double in the second game back. Um, uh, Chicago Sky, Kalia Cooper, still holding it down. They came away with a victory. She's definitely going to be the backbone of that team. Um, the Sparks is an interesting team. They came out looking pretty good. Um, man, it was a lot of good games. You got a lot of the young team. Atlanta Dream, Ryan Howard still doing her thing. She's still out there getting busy. So I'm excited for this season. More games, more competition, and I'm just waiting to see, that Liberty versus the Aces. Aces came out, dropped 105 points.
Yeah,
They
yo, they
showed that
came out and bust the clock.
even though you suspend my coach for 2 games, we still gonna do what we do. Candace Parker
Did I
kicked
hear you
some
say? Did I
butt.
hear you say we?
Well, I
We?
mean, that's
Oh,
what
that's
they
your
were
team?
saying.
Let me find out. That's your team?
I
Okay.
can't really say my team on the team yet. I'm in no man's land because since Philly don't have a team, you
Right, right,
know,
right.
I'm
Well,
somewhere
you know,
between
New York is a
Chicago,
lot
New
closer than
York, and
Vegas. I'm just
Washington.
saying.
Yeah, like
New York is a lot
I'm in
closer
the
than Vegas. I'm just
tri-state
saying.
area. I got New York here and I got Washington here. I'm like stuck in the middle, so I don't know which way to go yet. But all in all, it was a good opening weekend. I'm excited to see more games. I'm glad to see a lot of games televised. A couple on ESPN, NBA TV. So, you know, excitement. What about you?
Um, for me, I feel like the surprises was like teams that lost a lot going into the season, like the Chicago Sky. They won their first 2 games of the season.
Yeah,
They had mad off-season departures in Chicago. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And they still decided to retool, and they're still doing their thing. I mean, 2 games out of 40 is what it is. You know what I mean? Disappointing for me was the Phoenix Mercury. But but it wasn't really about that. It was more about the return of Brittany Griner. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I think that she came back. I think she had 10 points in the first game,
yeah,
and she played a little better in the second game. First, I think she had 45 in both of the games, 45 points altogether in the 2 games. So again, she got to get her legs back up under her, get back into a situation where she feels comfortable and ready to contribute. But again, it's going to be the season is going to stretch out. But let me talk about my New York Liberty. My New York Liberty. Yes, I said it.
go ahead.
We played like the Statue of Liberty against the Washington Mystics in the first game. They were running up and down the court. Elena Deladon is back. She's so any ill effects from her back injuries. You know what I mean? They did what they had to do. But again, the New York Liberty, we made up for it. Okay, with Brianna scoring 45 points in the home opener. And again, this season is going to be very, very interesting. The Connecticut Sun, no Jonquel Jones, no problem.
Yeah, Drew Lord was like, "Hey,
I
hey,
mean, again,
right on my shoulders."
Alyssa Thomas is going to put up some ridiculous numbers for them. It's going to be a great season, and y'all rock with us because we rock with the WNBA. So we'll have a week. We'll try to slide in a couple of minutes to give them some time every week during the show, and it just is what it is. You got this one over here, the Las Vegas Aces. All right, the Las Vegas Aces is in the building. And you got myself right here rocking with the New York Liberty. Let us know who you rock with down at In Sports Talk on Facebook, down at In Sports Talk on YouTube, down at In Sports Talk live and direct on StreamYard. We are in the building, definitely. So we're about to get up out of here. It's been dope. You know how we do it.
Yeah.
Yada Bear, anything that you want to add on? This is your time right here, and we like to call this part of the show Yada Speaks.
Well, one thing I definitely want to acknowledge. Oh, you missed the boxing talk, but guess what? I'm about to go back to it right now.
Let's go. Let's go.
We talked earlier about this Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford fight.
July 29th, y'all. July 29th.
We finally got a date, and this is the thing. Like I need more fights like this. I'm tired of seeing our champions fight nobody. Where are the Charlo brothers? When are they going to fight again?
I know one of them Charlo brothers is crying about the money they lost. One of them Charlo brothers bet on Ryan Garcia.
Yeah,
so they gonna have to get in the ring pretty soon to get that bread back.
But my thing is, I see them online on social media talking junk, talking trash. They always commentating on these fights. But hey, when are you guys going to fight?
Talk to him, Yada. Talk to
When
him.
are they gonna fight? Like, I'm tired of people ducking each other. Y'all keep saying y'all the best, you the best, one of the best pound for pound, yada yada yada, all this junk.
Yada,
But
yada,
I don't
yada.
see it. When are you gonna get in the ring? When is it gonna happen? I don't want to see Raleigh Romero fight anybody else. It's like they're just throwing these guys out there to fight because these other guys refuse to take the fights. I don't want to see Canelo fight somebody who's like ranked like 30 something. Like, who is this guy? Like, they're pulling guys up from the gym saying, hey, come make a quick bag. Canelo needs someone to fight. Like, I'm tired of all of this. Like, I need these promotions to stop holding these fighters back and let's fight each other. Or are they just scared? Like, let me know. Are you scared to get beat up?
Send your emails over there to Yada Bear.
Are you scared to take an L? Like, I need to know, because the way that I see it, you look like you're scared. Y'all look like you're scared. And another thing, I'm tired of all these imagination belts. Like these.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What is the linear belt? Yep. Where is that? You got people fighting for medals? Like, what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. The heavyweight division has become a joke. It's been like a laughing stock for years because nobody wanted to fight anybody. Like, there's no true heavyweights out there. All the young guys are holding down boxing, and it's becoming extremely, like, it's just it's
frustrating. It's frustrating for the fans.
Right. I'm just needing. I need more fights. I need more fights. I'm tired of the nonsense. I'm tired of champions fighting bums. I'm tired of people ducking each other. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, well, this promotion got to talk to this promotion to talk to this promotion about the money." Like, come on, you're all going to make money. We want to see these fights. We are going to pay for these fights.
Right, that's right.
All thing you got to do is fight. Show up and fight.
Don't talk about. How you say? Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Down at Sports Talk every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Myself and my partner, my co-D over there, Yada Bear. No update, right quick. The Vegas Golden Knights are giving it to the Dallas Stars in Game 3 of the Western Conference Final. It's 3-0. They're getting ready to start the second period. Salute to everybody in the chat room. We appreciate y'all. And it is what it is, man. We rock out every Tuesday night. And if you want to catch the show, you can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on 60s.net. We're definitely in the building over there. And that's basically it. Any shout outs, Yada Bear, before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I got to shout out David because David's going hard.
Yeah, David's going hard in the paint.
On MJ. Like,
he's going hard in the paint. And shout out to Bob City. Yes. Bob City's crazy. Shout out to Bob City. Salute. You know what I mean? Yeah, David was waiting. David was in the green room.
I feel like MJ did something personally to this man. How hard he going at him?
Like, he couldn't wait because David was in the green room before I showed up. David was here waiting. So salute to him, man. Salute to David. I appreciate you, my guy. Salute. So yeah, man, this is it. Another episode down in Sports Talk. If you like what we're doing,
next week is our first check-in.
Oh yeah, next week. Next week, Memorial Day. As we get close to Memorial Day, we get our first check-in as far as Major League Baseball is concerned. So y'all make sure y'all want to tune in for that. We talk about it all over here. If you got any questions or any topics that you would like to see discussed on the show, hit us up down at In Sports Talk on Facebook, down at In Sports Talk on Twitter. Myself at Yada Bear. I'm RM Des at Twitter. That's Yada Bear on Twitter.
Bear
Make sure you
Twitter.
get at us. And we're in the building, definitely. So we appreciate y'all. Y'all rock out with us. Yada, don't go nowhere. And Windwalker, I hope you enjoyed the graduation because we didn't let the
we expect to check in next week. We
didn't let the monkeys out. You know what I mean? But because we try to respect the situation and all that. But, this is Down to Sports Talk, man. We're about to get up out of here, man. Salute to everybody. Peace to y'all. Check us out, man. YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook. Down to Sports Talk. We in the building. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, man. So I'm